Hey guys, Jason the X for SCNS Live, the super cool nerd show, and I'm back with another Marvel Legends toy review. We're doing the whole wave. This is the Thanos, basically the Thanos Build-A-Figure wave, but with his armor. You've got 7 figures in this wave, and yeah, these came out shortly after I finished that other review of the Kingpin wave. I've had them for a couple days. They're pretty good, you know, mess around with a little bit. Got to do a little bit of quality control, play with them to make sure they're okay. So as we usually do these videos, as I try to adjust my mic pack casually off camera, we're going to go from the one that I think is the worst to the one that's best, and ending with the Build-A-Figure, and comparisons will be done all around. So let's get right to that. And the figure that I like the least, Nighthawk. I have said some things about Hawkeye and other characters. This guy, I absolutely hate it. I read Old Defenders, and I hate this. I hate his stupid cape, his little runty Wolverine claws, them stupid underbrows that he has, them bags. I think I do not like this character. And I like the figure even less. He uses the Bucky Cap mold, but I have vented a lot on this guy. I hate Nighthawk. I'm going to admit it. Okay, so we got Build-A-Figure Thanos right there. I don't know why I just didn't tilt the camera. Got Nighthawk. Such a ripoff. There he is on the side there. And originally a member of the Squadron Sinister, the wealthy Kyle Richmond has a change of heart and joins the Defenders. Yeah. Here's Kyle. What can I say about this figure that hasn't already been said about a pile of crap? No, I'm kidding. Oh, man, I'm so salty about this. So, okay, let's look objectively at the figure. He has his under wings here. The paint's very clean on him. Got a very stern face there coming down to the body. You've got his Nighthawk symbol here. It's very clean. I like the shiny gold. It looks globbed right here, though. It just looks like this is a different shade, especially on camera. But you got a little nick. I need to turn my phone off. Anyway, moving on. You got a different gold on the gloves, and then coming down here, you have his Nighthawk claws, which are done in soft plastic. Off of there. Coming down to the boots, he's got the Buccaneer boots that we saw with Bucky Cap. And then he has this very big, strange cape that's got a wind tunnel going through it. It's pegged into the back. You can just take this off. I think it can fit over his noggin. Probably not. You're going to have to pull the head off, yank his head off. And you can totally remove this cape. And let's look at some of the detail now. I like the scalloping at the bottom, but this just seems just way too peacocky. That should be his name. He's the Peacock. I am the Peacock. But it does replicate the comic look. He's got the hole in the back, so you just peg it into there. Just get it into there. Okay, there you go. And we'll pop his head back on, and yeah, we've got a Nighthawk finally. Did anybody want a Nighthawk? I should have pulled out the comic version of Valkyrie for this review, but that other Valkyrie just wasn't that good. The one that actually was on the Defenders with him. So, articulation, he's got the peg in the foot, so you can make a complete 360 around there. Back and forth hinges. You got the calf cut here. Double jointed knees. This is Bucky Cap mold. I think another figure in here uses that. Got the thigh cut. He can Van Damme that far. Waist articulation, a little bit loose. Got kind of a soft ratchet until he goes back. And then that cape just really kind of gets in the way there. Universal joints at the shoulders. They will go back like that far. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. And the wrists go back and forth here. Really loose on this one. Really loose. That's stupid claws. And the head can go all the way back for flying. I don't think he flies. I think he just jumps around with the big cape. But hey, he can do that. He can go that far and look down about that far. And the cape just really gets in the way. So Okay, I have said horrible things about Mr. Richmond here. So stand up, you piece of crap. Okay. It's always the first figure of the line. So comparing him to, oh, I don't know. Let's compare him to the 2-pack Cap that came with Crossbones, so you can get an idea. He's a little bit shorter than our Chris Evans character there. So yeah, that's Nighthawk. He's my least favorite, and it is what it is. And my second least favorite figure from the wave. Oh, this pains me to do this, but Captain America is my favorite, but it's probably the most boring figure out of this line. So I gotta admit it. But you've got Cap in his quantum suit, and we'll get to that. It's not that it's bad, it's just there are better ones. So you got an A on top, Legend Series. Could somebody stop messaging me? Anyway, you got Captain America here. Avengers. You got Cap on the side wearing his that mask, not the one he's got on. And the first Avenger, Steve Rogers, continues to protect the world from evil as the Star-Spangled Hero, Captain America. Says nothing about the wave. Worst description ever. Anyway, here's Cap. And I'm just running into the camera. I don't like this tablecloth I have on here. So, I don't like this head sculpt. Mainly because we've gotten a better one with the pack that came with Crossbones. And he has this weird chin line here. He should have that strap across there. And just to prove it, I mean, you could have gone with this head. I think you could have redone the eagle on the side, the wing, and this would have been the better head to go with. This was better. I would have fully appreciated a reuse of parts on this. But you do have the quantum suit, which is not in white. It's in that silver color because, you know, concept art. I like that they probably are going to need these to like save the world, but they took the time to put the Avengers logo on there. But the suit does look nice. I like the armor. As a generic suit for the Avengers, this isn't so bad. And you got that quantum device on his wrist. Turning around, you got a pack on the back. Nice venting here. I love the armor look of this. I wish it had been accurate to what we see on screen, though. You got some detailing lines on the calves. Even on the... There's a lot of detail on this sculpt. So I could see reuse this, and you're going to have to buy a couple of these just to get them to work with all the parts they made available with the other quantum suits, like the other heads for Ant-Man, who is it? Ant-Man, Iron Man, and I forget who else in the 2-pack. Oh, what's her name? I'm so bad at this tonight. Nebula, yeah. So to give a comparison, here he is with the Cap that we got from the Civil War 2-pack. And the shields are pretty much the same. That's just a different... The red seems a little bit different. Actually, the red seems a little bit darker over here. But, yeah, I mean, this would have been the better head. But there is a fix for this. Let's go ahead and get this guy out of here. And what we can do is bring in... Because what else we got from that 2-pack? Well, I thought this was going to work, but I am sad to report that the head that came with the Crossbones 2-pack, this very nice Steve Rogers head, the peg is way too big for that hole. It will not go on there. I mean, you could probably just rest it on top. No, that does not look right at all. So that hole's going to have to be dremelled out a bit, and I don't know if you'll be able to get like the proper connection to get it in there. Let's see. Are these pegs really that different? How dare you rob me of this? How dare... Oh, man, that is... It's not that big of a difference. I mean, I had no problems getting it on here. Yeah, fit on there just fine. I don't know. Let me try. I have really tried with this. This is not going to fit on there. So that's not an option. I thought it would be. That is so disappointing. I could have made this figure better, guys. Denied. Okay, well, I just don't know what to say about that. So, taking the hand off so we can remove the shield, because that one's got the quantum device on it. Closer look at the shield. There you go. We've gotten these before. Bigger strap down here, smaller strap down here. Good detail on the buckles and the way they connect. Still like that. Kind of wish this would peg into his back somehow. But I love the paint job on the shield. But moving back to Cap, articulation-wise, peg in the foot, complete 360 can be done. So we can rock and tilt back and forth. Got the double jointed knees here. Cut at the thigh. Van Damme's about that far. Waist swivel. Let me back this camera up a little bit. There we go. Got the ab crunch. No ratcheting in there. And spin the bicep. Double jointed elbows. Get it? Get it? And the wrist will go back. Will actually go forward. Going back this way, however, that is, oh, you got to just fit it underneath there. And there you have the quantum device right there. Nice blue plastic or paint used on there. And the head will go back about that far. It's really hitting the back of the sculpt right there and forward that far. Complete 360. And universal joint in the shoulder goes up about that far. So if you really want that, you're going to have to Dremel that's Chris Evans' civilian head and get it on this body. But yeah, that's why he's my second favorite, I guess. I mean, second least favorite. That's harsh. I was like, I knew I could do that. I was wrong. So yeah, Quantum Suit, Captain America. Okay, from here on out, we're getting into the things I like. And this is the Living Laser. Now, this was a figure I was not excited for at all. I really didn't care. I don't care about the Living Laser. Nobody does, but this is a really good figure. It is a reuse of the Spider-Man 2099, the second one that we got, and I'll show that off. But getting him out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at his packaging. You got nothing on top, Build-A-Figure Thanos, Living Laser on the side, some pretty cool artwork using that effect. And on the side, driven mad by jealousy, the brilliant research scientist Arthur Parks becomes the villainous Living Laser. So bringing in old Living Laser, he's not bad. He's a weird figure, and I think I like him just because he's a bit off the wall. First of all, accessory-wise, which is where I should be starting all these reviews, he comes with this lightning effect. We've seen this with multiple characters, done in different shades of plastic. You know the drill. It rolls out. It wraps around arms. It makes a good effect. And honestly, I like this better than, say, these things that we keep getting, because they never stay on tightly, or these, or whatever. I really like the lightning bolt effect. This is a good effect, and granted, it's lightning, and it doesn't scream laser to me, but I think it works for like crackling energy. And also with the figure, they've gone with that design on the arms. So I can appreciate the work that was put into this figure. You got some of the detail up here. Now, granted, his head cannot turn at all. And here he has his, that scalloping that the Spider-Man 2099 mold had. You can't really see it on his box art. So, yeah. But this is a good reuse of that mold, because I like the butterfly joints at the shoulders. You got this nice coloration here. Now, the head, however, no articulation up here, nothing. This will pop off. I mean, you can turn it, but it's going to look weird like that. So, yeah, he's just going to stay encased in here. But it is a nice figure. This translucent plastic looks really, really good. And just for a figure that I did not care at all about. And now, hey, I like him. I got him in hand. He's pretty good. So, yeah, I'll give props. And as far as the energy effects, you can just fit those right along his arms. The scalloping actually helps here, so it can stay in place. But these have always been pretty good about latching onto the character's arm. I do like that. Comparison-wise, let's compare him to an Iron Man figure. Just going to bring out Iron Man. I don't really have anybody else. If I had Claw, I should have compared him to. I think I do have a Claw. I know they released one not too long ago, but I didn't have time to find it. So, I know they kind of hooked up every now and then in the comics. So, he is that Spider-Man 2099. Let me go ahead and just grab that figure. There you go. You see, he shares that same body style But like I said, reuse of the ball joint or the butterfly joints. The only thing is like that scalloping on the arms, and it's not, and it would, it's kind of a ripoff. Let's face it. But they did put a new head on this thing. But hey, versatility when making new figures. That's what we really care about, right? So anyway, peg is in the foot, complete 360 around, ankle will go back and forth, cut at the calf, double jointed knees, twist at the thigh, Van Damme's that far. Can rotate the waist, got a little click in there. Kind of a soft ratchet, but you hear some clicking in there. The universal joint goes about that far. Twist at the bicep, double jointed elbows, and he should have some articulation. Like I said, he comes off that Spider-Man buck. Wrist goes back and forth and around. Head, you saw it. He can kind of do that. He's got a neck thing going, and it's a softer plastic. If you actually get it off of here and look in, it's a soft plastic, so it will shape itself. I wouldn't leave it too out of place for too long, because you know how plastic is. Once it heats up a little bit, it'll stay that way. So yeah, Living Laser, nice figure. Like I said, one I wasn't excited about, but hey, it works for me. And now for a figure I was excited about. This is the Marvel Legends Citizen V. Now, I was a big fan of the Thunderbolts when that comic came out, where the Masters of Evil were disguising themselves as heroes. And I love the design on Citizen V. Even though he was Baron Nemo, I was okay with that. Well, I wasn't okay with it. I still like the design. Like, ooh, he's the bad guy, but his suit is still boss. I like it. So I was conflicted. But this is a very cool design. If not, I mean, he looks like the leader type. And I really like how it came out. So anyway, moving on, we've got, of course, Build-A-Figure Thanos at the top. Legends series, Citizen V. And oh, in the comics, like somebody came and actually the son took back the mantle. So there you have him with his sword right down the middle with his faceless mask. Baron, up here. Review is up here, guys. Baron Helmet Zero adopts the alias of Citizen V and leads the heroic Thunderbolts. That's an heroic Thunderbolts. They were criminals into battle against various villains. Yeah, but they were kind of doing it to enrich themselves. So anyway, Citizen V, not bad. I like this figure. I love the look of him. I know he's a reuse of a couple things. I forget where that belt comes from, but it reflects the character. The mask, nice soft plastic up here. Actually, it's not that soft. I mean, it looks like it feels like it'll come off, but accessory-wise, he does come with this very nice blade. I love whatever this is cast in. It's got a slight angle forward, which I don't remember that being really part of the character. I feel like they're going to reuse this for Nightcrawler, just because it is a cutlass and there's not a lot of those floating around in the Marvel Universe. So it'll work for Kurt. That's cool. But it does look good. I do like it. I love the silver used on it. Maybe could have turned my ringer off of my phone. Painted the hilt. No, but Citizen V didn't paint his hilt. We'll need to paint it for Kurt, though. So he has no storage for the sword. I mean, we can slip it in here, but he doesn't really have anything that screams put the sword here except for that. And it works. It works. There's no traditional scabbard. It just goes in there. I love the cape design. Like I said, this suit is cheesy in so many ways, but I like that cheese factor. You got the stars and bars over here. Stars and stripes, I'm sorry. And you got the bandage that we saw on Daredevil, the Shadowlands version. And these boots, which I know have come from a couple of characters, most recently seen on that Daredevil from the Shadowlands story. And the cape will come unpegged. And you got the peg in the back. So a little detail. There's just a lot of blue on this guy. And the red with the black wash on the boots and the sash and the gauntlets. So there's not a lot of colors on him, but I do like him. He's very skinny. Putting this back on. I kind of wish we had a couple other Thunderbolts. Maybe Jolt. Jolt needs a character. And this is a closed fist, so you can only really hold his sword with this hand, but you know, you can get a couple of heroic Citizen V poses out of him, doing things like that with a sword right down the middle, like the box art. So there you go. Comparison. Oh, we're just gonna bring in Cap again. Two patriotic heroes. Stand up, fool. So there he is next to Chris Evans. I'm bothered by his stance. Boy, some of these bucks are starting to show their age as far as stability. Pull Cap's belt now. There we go. So we got a pretty good comparison. Cap's kind of a generic figure to go with. Articulation-wise, of course, he has the pin in the foot all the way around, back and forth. Twist at the calf, right at the top of the boot cut. Very nicely done. Double jointed knees. Spin at the thigh. Van Damme's that far. The belt is a soft material, so it won't interfere with the waist cut. Ratcheting ab joint, but it is hindered by his cape, which is a lot of things on this guy. He can take his arms up about that far, and he has to push the cape out of the way, so it looks very awkward. Twist at the rotation at the bicep, 360 degrees. Double jointed elbows, but we can only go, and once again, that cape is in the way. We'll go about that far on that hand. 360 on the wrist and the back and forth. No up and down on this one, just back and forth. Head goes back really far and down really far. So overall, I do like this character. Great addition. I would love to see some more Thunderbolts. Atlas, maybe Mach 1. I think we got a Moonstone. But, yeah, I'd like to. I really want to see some of those other heroes from the Thunderbolts brought back. So, yeah, Citizen V. And my next favorite out of the wave, Hercules. I like this figure. I know we got a Hercules back in the day, but it was late. This guy is good. This guy, he's got a new buck. He's got a good face, great weapons. I love the costume. Yeah, gonna get into it on this guy because he's a really great addition to your comic Avengers team. So up here we've got Marvel Legends, Build-A-Figure Thanos, Avengers, because he is an Avenger. Hercules, very nicely done there. On the side, you've got Herc. Good artwork on this line, too. So there you go. Marvel's Hercules, an immortal champion of Olympus. Hercules uses his immense strength to battle evil and protect the world. Yes, so this guy is a little bit of awesome. I love the detail on him. Let me bring my camera back down. Love the detail on him. Love the modernized look. He comes with some really cool weapons. You've got storage. You've got extra hands. This guy is legit. Now, he does have fists installed on him when you get him out of the package. But, I mean, fists are good. It's Hercules. He uses his strength. He bashes things all the time. But getting into the accessories, because he does have weapons, you can plug on these hands. And I think it's perfectly acceptable to have that open hand and still kind of use that as a fist. But if you want just him knocking the hell out of things with his bare hands, this is what you want on there. Other accessories he comes with are two weapons, which fit snugly back here in these holsters. Come out of there. You're embarrassing me on camera. Come on. I think the heat may have just, wait, come on, out of there. There we go. Okay. So the first accessory is this really cool mace that he comes with, or Morning Star. I'm not sure. Someone will correct me. Very nice on the plastic here. It's got scratches on it. Looks like it's been used. Got the top there. Got some detail on the actual handle. Looks like cloth. Maybe paint that in. Got a little bit of that same, actually this is not the same gray because this is actually a shinier gray. Down here at the bottom. Mine, I think, might have rubbed a little bit from putting it inside of this holster here. It's a really tight fit to get that in there. So, yeah, keep that in mind. And the other accessory it comes with is a very, very nice broadsword. Once again, it's got some damage. It's got some nicks on it. Very nice gold was used down at the hilt But that looks good. It kind of reminds me of the sword from that Young Avengers movie, where the children of the Avengers, the one that the daughter of Thor was carrying around. Kind of reminds me of that a little bit, how it's like, a little bit tapered and then fatter here. But I like it. And he can hold both weapons very well. Putting those in his hands. I don't think a Hercules would adapt well to the MC universe. But there you go. He can hold, he can bludgeon you, bam, 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 or slice you, slice, 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 slash. Very nice. I love the weapons. I love that you can store them both on his body, and he can have them, and, maybe he just wants to bludgeon you to death. So looking at the figure, though, very nice job on this head sculpt. He's got a man bun. First Marvel Legends character with a man bun. Hey, it's the thing now. But though it's a man bun, it's very well done. We cannot deny that. I love the strap around here with his signature headgear. He's kind of looking off to the side. He's got that smirk on his face. That's a good look. I love this head sculpt. Just kind of like, oh, I see you over there. I'm going to just come over there and beat the crap out of you. So, yeah. The strapping, love the paint work used here. The silver ring going down to this very nice gold belt buckle with that, looks like a cat design. He has a lot of pouches. He's got a life-filled amount of patches on here. You got this strap over here, I'm not sure. You got the pants. If you watch wrestling, I kept calling them the Braun Strowman pants. Got some knee pads there, more buckles around his boots, and some other designs here. This is a good figure. This is a really good figure. A lot of great detail. Articulation-wise, he'll spin at the ankle. I think I just turned it all the way around at his calf cut. Legs, got double jointed. Cut at the thigh. He can Van Damme that far. You got the crotch piece that's built into the belt, so it moves. So now he's vulnerable to, getting kicked there, I guess. Now the strapping will interfere with the articulation a bit. You can go back and forth, but it's nice and actually, this is a really soft and pliable material. And I wish they had applied it somewhere else in this line, but hey. And like I said, he's on what appears to be a new buck. It's a very muscular buck. A lot of veins and vascularness on there. He does have these really cool gauntlets. I kind of wish they had done that in a different gold, but hey. Wrists will go back and forth, not up and down. Double jointed elbows, but he can only go about that far because he is ripped. Got a cut at the bicep. Universal joint, which is, if you'll notice, it's kind of like it's beefed up here, and it's still like, so he's very big, but you can actually twist that. So there's where the universal joint is, right there. So, and the head will it's on a hinge and ball, so you can go way too far back and a natural amount forward. So yeah, Hercules. This is a really good figure from this line. I'm glad to add him to my Avengers collection. I love my comic figures still. So yeah, though this wave was very comic heavy, this is a really good figure. And taking my number 2 spot in this wave is the Ronin / Hawkeye figure. Totally spoiled it in the commercial that this is Hawkeye. And it's a good figure. I actually really liked Ronin in the comics. Echo the Deaf used that alias, and Hawkeye used it when they were doing the whole Civil War thing. So I like it. I did like that character. So it's kind of cool that Hawkeye is going to be that character in the movie. So anyway. So on there you got Thanos Build-A-Figure Avengers logo on here. Hawkeye. Well, sorry. Avengers Ronin. There is Clint Barton on the side with the blade there. And on the back, Clint Barton is a master sharpshooter and skilled martial artist who fights alongside the Avengers. Can these be more basic? Seriously. The sword does look a bit different on here, and it's not quite what it is on the movie. So here he is. Now, this figure could have been number 1, but it is, it's flawed. It's got some things wrong with it, and I'm going to get into it. But it's still personal choice here. It is Not the best figure. Maybe shouldn't have the number 2 spot, but he has it because I like him. Now, accessory-wise, he does come with this hood that just pops right off, so you can get a better look at the mask. I know my lights are like kind of weird for the really dark figure. But yeah, the hood is totally removable. Turning it around, very nice gold is used on this character. I like the jacket. I love the texture on the elbow pads. You've got the armor on the gauntlets on his hands. His articulation is a bit hindered because of that jacket, but you got the nice scabbard on the back with the swords. I don't know if this is how they're stored. I just saw that this one had an edge. Well, I mean, it was curved here. So I might actually have them backwards. I'm not sure. No, because that one goes further down from there. So I'm going to go ahead and take those out. He does come with 2 blades, which I'll show that off on the accessories. Once again, you got the gold here. That scabbard is there. There's more of the coat. You got some strapping on the legs. Come around. Looks like he has another of those square hilt blades there. Very nice gold on the knee pads as well. Got a little bit of texture in there. And you've got the armor along the boots here, much like Ronin should have. Now, this is also removable off of the character. You can take that scabbard totally off, and like I say, you can take the hood off. Getting a better look at his face without the hood on there. You got the gold down the side. Not much else, you know, kind of like a standard baklava. There's actually sculpting here along the gold, so that works for me. The jacket also can come off. You need to unpeg it in 2 spots here. And I've seen some people making modifications where they actually cut this jacket above the belt, giving him more articulation at the waist joint or the ab crunch. You do have to take the head off to get this jacket off, but I'm going to demonstrate it with the jacket on there so you can see the limitations that this figure does suffer. Now, comparison. Well, I went and pulled out a treat for you guys. I actually pulled out the old Marvel Legends Ronin figure so you can see what the source material of this is based off of. There you go. This is Clint Barton in the comics when he was Ronin, when he took over the mantle from Echo. So there you go. He's a little out of sorts just because he was packed away. This is old school Toy Biz, guys. So I'm just going to hold him here. Just going to casually hold him here. Pay no attention to me holding him there. Of course, this figure is a bit taller, but very faithful to what the original design was, I think. Yes, he's got a jacket. He's not wearing the robe, but I still think it works. And the other accessory Barton comes with is this effect hand. I said this, whatever. This effect hand where he has his shurikens on this nice clear, well, not clear. You can see through it. And there's a bit of silver overspray if you look. But, you know, they didn't have to include it. The other thing I like about this guy, I love the gold in the palms that they use on all of the parts. So, since it is his left hand, just pop that off. Pop that on. And you can get some cool kind of effects off of that where he's flinging some stars off to the side. There you go. There, that looks better from there, from that angle. So they're just leaving his hand. So I love effect part pieces. As far as the scabbard, let's put that back on there so we can see the limitation with this on there. And as far as the swords, as the other accessory, he has one really long katana. I can get my camera to focus. There we go. There's some nice detail on the handle. I really like that. Of course, it doesn't have the empty spaces in the back of the blade like we saw in the trailer. I think that's a little too much to ask, but it still looks good for a sword. And he does have a smaller wakizashi. Not much of a hilt on there, but the paint it's not oversprayed. I mean, it looks like it's gonna bleed together, but getting it into focus here looks pretty good. I'm sure this blade in the movie will have that same empty spaces on the back. And he can hold these swords very well. Oop, if I put his hand back on. Forgot the hand. There we go. Got them all armored up here. Well, not armored up, all dressed. And we'll put his hood back on. So yeah, the Ronin takes my number 2 spot. I really dig the figure. Clint needed a new figure in the Marvel Legends line. He's been getting the Shaft, and he gets two. Not in the same way, but he's getting a quantum suit as well. So yeah, Ronin, number 2 spot. And last one, taking the number 1 spot, it's Ebony Maw from Infinity War. I really like this character, and I think we should have had the Children of the Thanos a lot sooner. But hey, we get them when we get them, and we can finally complete that horrible, horrible team of people that do Thanos' bidding. So anyway, let's get them all out of the way. Shh. That's going to happen a couple times in this video. So anyway, up at the top, you got the Avengers logo. Yes, I got them from Movie Trading Company and overpaid a little bit. You've got Ebony Maw down here, Avengers Infinity War. On the side, you've got him. Hey, look, there's hair. We'll get into that. We'll get into that. The dangerous assassin Ebony Maw puts his powers of persuasion to sinister use in service of the evil Thanos. Yes, he does. He is evil, and he is also very bald, like more bald than he was in the movie. If there's only one thing I can take away from this figure, and he doesn't have the hair. He's got it back here a little bit, but he clearly had a lot more in the movie, and yeah, it's not there. Some things get missed. I mean, hey, we got Obsidian Black. He's not even close to what he looks like in the theater, in the movie. But the Maw's face does look fairly good. Not completely accurate. But hey, it is what it is. The gold on the uniform looks really good with the gray and black. Very much with the motif of Thanos. He doesn't come with any accessories, but what does he need? He was, beating down heroes with just his mind. I do like the etching on the robe here. It's not totally one piece. That goes into the soft goods, and soft goods are very, very pliable. You got more of the designs down the leg, coming down here to the knee, and he has those high boots. Doesn't have any laces on them, but they got that same kind of design on them. And he has very flat feet, very just kind of flattish feet. I don't know, just looks a little weird. He does have a weird like back of his head. You see what I'm talking about here. So yeah, like I said, no accessories. He can do the shh thing with his fingers, kind of. I kind of feel like looking at him like there's a couple things that are seriously missed that did not get translated from the character model to this figure. I like it. It's just some things that were missed. Now, articulation-wise, you've got the cut in the foot, back and forth. No calf cut. You can double joint at the knees. Very, very nice. Cut at the thigh. Van Damme's very, very good. Waist articulation ain't happening. For all of this torso here, no waist articulation. But he does have a ball joint in the torso. You can spin around. Universal joint goes about that far. Robe's kind of get in the way. Mine does have some blotching up here. You got a very nice cut around the bicep until you start to turn it. And there you go. So double jointed elbows. Easily goes all the way up without even using all of the joint. Wrist will go back and forth and do a 360. Same thing on the other side. No different axis of movement over there. Head can go about that far back. Actually, if you use the hinge instead of the ball joint, you can go back about that far and look up. And he goes forward about that much. So now, who are we going to compare him to? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Look, I haven't reviewed one of these guys, but I felt this was an opportunity to just show this off. But we've got Obsidian Black here. So let's get him up there. Not accurate to the screen model. We've got Proxima Midnight. And we have Corvus Glaive. So there we have it. The Black Order, the Children of Thanos. They are complete, and I could not be happier. I mean, yes, I have not reviewed Corvus Glaive, but he's good. He's good. Trust me. He's very, very good. Now, with that out of the way, and my number one figure for the wave, let's go ahead and talk about the Build-A-Figure. And last but definitely not least, we have got the Build-A-Figure, the Armored Thanos figure for getting all these guys, and he's okay. He's okay. And that's where I'm going to leave with that. So why do I say the figure's okay? Well, he looks good. But underneath, there are some things that I would have done better with this figure. But we needed one with Thanos in the full armor. I know my buddy Sean really wanted one, so it's an okay figure. So looking at that head sculpt, here he is with that armor that we saw him briefly wearing in Infinity War, that he took off for more of his summer look. You know, had to be light and fast to beat up the Hulk, so had to take off his armor. So he's got this grimace on his face, which I don't dig the grimace so much, but hey, the helmet looks really good. You got that swirly plastic that they use. You can see some of that in there, getting down to the chest piece. The paint applications on this guy are very well done. Very well done. You got the pauldrons on the side, moving down to the shoulder armor. A little bit of overspray there. Coming down into the gauntlet, you've got all the gems. They are picked out. Very nicely done. Good color on the gauntlet. He does have, well, we'll get to that. Getting around to the back, more of the detail on the armor. Coming down, he does have these soft goods on the side. The armor looks really good on this. Got that gold here. The loincloth piece up front. Getting down into the knees. It's got some good detail down here. I love the armor looks really good. And then down into his big old stompers. The gold covered shoes. So, yeah. Accessory-wise, he does come with this very, very large bladed, double-bladed weapon. Got some chunks out of the blade. Clearly, he's been using it on fools on the business side of it. You got the handle in the middle, and it's not the same. Is it the same blade? Hang on. Wait a tick. No, it's not. It's not the same on both sides. So, we did see this in the trailer. He's going to use it at some point. I know it was included with a couple of figures that he came with before. So, yeah. Comparison-wise, here's this Build-A-Figure. Not versus the other Build-A-Figure, because let's face it, that first one they brought out looked too much like Grimace. But here he is with his more summer look. And the good thing about this figure is you can pop the heads off of the armored Thanos and choose from one of the multitude of heads that he came with, I think 3, and pop that on there. And there you got Thanos with a grimace on his face. But wait, there's more. You can also pop the hands off of the Infinity Gauntlet and replace it on this one. I totally hit the camera. So now he can have an open palm. He can even kind of hold his helmet like that. So now it looks like he's just holding the helmet, like maybe he's done. Yes, I used the grimace face. I probably should have used this one here where he looks actually content, like he's at rest. I like this gold translates better with this gold. So that first Build-A-Figure we got was, well, it was doo-doo. I'm sorry. To do it better and then release it in a 3-pack that we had to buy. Yeah, Hasbro, why you do this? Why you do this? So articulation. He does not have ankle tilts. Yes, he does not have ankle tilts. People have said this, and it is a thing. It is. He should have the peg in the foot. I mean, this one clearly had the peg in the foot. So them not being able to do it here, why? It's a small thing to nitpick, but it's also a thing that Hasbro regularly does. So I don't know why they didn't do it this time. No cut at the shin, but the legs will give you double jointed knees about that far. Ow, ooh, pinch myself. Got the thigh swivel here. He can Van Damme that far. Does he have a waist swivel? No, he doesn't. The armor really gets in the way of that, so yeah. Got the torso back and forth. Universal joint in the arms, but that's about as far as you're going to go up with it, combined with the armor on top of his shoulder and on his shoulder. Got double jointed elbows. They will also twist at the elbow right there. And no articulation at the forearm for the gauntlet, but he can go twist this around and back and, well, mostly just in, because when you bring the gauntlet up here, the lip is going to get in the way. You can get it up a little bit. So on this hand, the gauntlet is, this gauntlet that he has on the arm is even more restrictive, but this one goes back and forth on that axis. And the armor is soft right about here, so you can move it up. You can see it moves, it gives some. And of course, same articulation over here. The head can go back pretty far considering everything, and down pretty far, because Thanos looks down on people all the time because he is giant. And of course, he's a Titan. And you can fit the blade in this hand. I like to use the open Infinity Gauntlet hand when I have this out, because then you can kind of hold it, even though it's not meant to be done like that. It is just a single held or one-handed weapon. But yeah, sorry about yawning, but that is the Build-A-Figure Thanos. So there you have it, guys. The Build-A-Figure Thanos wave. Pretty good wave. Yes, there are some that I don't like, but that doesn't mean they're not good figures. Okay, well, I'll admit, Nighthawk sucks as a character, and he should have been made into a figure. Anybody else? Give me anybody else. So yeah, that's the wave, and oh, I'm glad to have gotten this right after the Kingpin Build-A-Figure wave. Hopefully they just slow down for a bit, because man, hang on, phone's ringing again. Oh, hey Sean, what's up? What do you mean the X-Men Legends wave is out now? It's a never-ending cycle. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review, because apparently another one is coming real soon. I'm Jason the X for SCNS Live, the Super Cool Nerd Show. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, watch our show on Thursdays and all the other videos that we're doing. But until next time, guys, I'll catch you later.